I want people to know that we love Jesus. He is very dear to us. He is one of the mightiest messengers that God has sent to humanity. He was sent to the children of Israel at that time, correct?
Yes.
He did many mighty miracles by the permission of God.
Yes.
And he healed the sick, the blind, the lepers, correct?
Absolutely.
Gave life to the dead by God's permission.
All of that.
All that good stuff, right? He was the Word of God on earth?
He was the Word of God.
Okay, but he never claimed divinity.
No, he never claimed divinity. And one of the amazing things about Islam that everyone should know is that we are the only other religion that is a tenet of faith that you must believe in Jesus Christ and everything that he did, or you cannot be a Muslim. If that is missing, if you say that you do not believe in Jesus, you have stepped outside of Islam. You cannot be a Muslim. It is a tenet of our faith to...
Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. Let us show you the lies of this video one by one. I will start from the end. You cannot be a Muslim unless you believe in Jesus, and we are the only one who out of Christianity believe in Jesus, which is a lie. He said we are the only religion in this world. If you don't believe in Jesus, you are out of Islam. When this is a very big false thing. There's hundreds of cults in the world. They believe in Jesus. As an example, Jehovah's Witnesses, the Mormon, and even Satan and even the Church of Satan themselves. So all what they are saying to us is just a bunch of lies trying to fool you. We are people who love Jesus. You know what? They love Jesus, but they want to kill the Jewish. They love Moses, but they want to kill every Jew. They love Jesus, but they want to kill the Christian. They want to burn their churches. Too much love is killing us, brother. Your love is amazing. If you love Jesus for real, you follow his teaching. And believing in Jesus that he is prophet, it's not believing in Jesus even. You just believe that Jesus is no one. So what if he is a prophet? You did not make a difference out of him? And according to Islam, the most honorable prophet of Allah is Muhammad. So Jesus is no one in the front of Muhammad. So why you are trying to fool the Christians, say we love Jesus, we love Jesus, but we want to kill you? No problem. Let us continue in this lie in here and see how many lies they say to us. From the beginning of the video they said that Jesus, he did the following. I will play it again.
To us. He is one of the mightiest messengers that God has sent to humanity. He was sent to the children of Israel at that time, correct?
Yes.
He did many mighty miracles by the permission of God.
I will stop on here. He did many miracles by the permission of God. So even they are denying every miracle Jesus by saying by permission of God. What they are, when the Muslims say to you by permission of God, what he's trying to do? Simply is trying to take the credit out of the hand of Jesus. Don't say those are the miracles of Jesus. Those are the miracles of Allah. So you see, they just told us they love Jesus, but Jesus is no one. Because simply he did not do any miracle. It was the miracle of Allah, not his miracle. And they just told us we love Jesus and we believe in his miracle when they just told us that it is not his miracle. This is the permission of Allah. Now, if we go and look at the word permission, what does permission mean? Permission simply is somebody is agreeing with you to do something. Let us say, I will let you do it. I allowed you to do it. But the question is, if I don't allow you, does that mean you cannot do it? As an example, if I say to someone, let us say I have a son, and he want to drive my car. I allowed him to drive my car. Does that mean if I did not allow him, he cannot drive it? Does that mean by allowing him, he learned how to drive? Absolutely not. Because he knew how to drive the car with my permission or not. Simply what I did, I said to him, okay, no problem. I don't have a problem with it to do it. I don't have a problem with it. I agree with you. Go and do it. But first of all, this is mean that he can do it. To make it more easy to understand, or to be understood. If I say to someone, you have my permission to sell the moon in eBay, sell it. Or you know what, if I say to someone, you have my permission to carry the Rocky Mountains. Carry them, take them, you know. What my permission will do? Nothing. Simply because my permission have no value. Simply because he cannot do it anyway. So who care about my permission if I gave or not? So permission here doesn't mean that Jesus, he don't have the ability. It's showing us that Jesus, he have the ability, but according to them, those Muslims, they are saying to us he got the permission, which means God, he don't have a problem with it. Which means that Jesus, he can do what God do. Which means he is God. Giving you a permission doesn't make you able to do it. So what the Muslims keep saying to us, by the permission of God, the permission of God, but the permission doesn't mean ability. Permission is just I agree. So what a big deal if you say to me, with the permission of God. If Jesus Christ, he cannot do what he did, no permission in the world can make him able to do it. They did not say they gave him or he gave him the ability. And this is mean that Jesus, he have the ability, which means he is God. When God of Islam, he gave Muhammad the permission to be a prophet. Why Muhammad, he did not do miracles? Actually, there is a surah in the Quran, it says clearly, we refrain to do miracles. Allah himself refrained. But Muhammad is still a prophet of God, supposedly. So he gave him a permission to be a prophet. And whatever the word mean, prophets of God, they are prophets. They can even tell you about things nobody knows, supposedly, about the future. Prophet of God, they do miracles. Muhammad, he could not do not even one. The Muslims will say to you the only miracles of Islam is the Quran itself, which is very funny and dummy, because Quran is full of mistakes, like the earth is flat and the moon set in the dirty water, and the sperm of a woman. The women have a sperm, and the sperm of the woman coming from her ribs. You know, it's unlimited mistakes, very hard to count. Even that one, it's mean Muhammad, he have no miracles, because the Quran supposedly is the book of Allah, not the book of Muhammad. So even this one is not the miracle. Even if it's a miracle, it's not the miracle of Muhammad, it is the miracle of Allah. So in here the Muslims trying to fool us, saying to you that Jesus, he don't have miracles. Those miracles are the miracles of Allah, simply because he gave him a permission. But they forgot, if I give you a permission to drive my car, it doesn't mean necessarily that you can drive it really if you do not know how to drive. If I give you permission to swim, it doesn't mean that you can swim really, because if you don't know how to swim, you will die.
We are going over this topic is because it's an issue of salvation. We want everyone to be saved. And this issue is a very important issue for Christians, Muslims, Jews, why Jesus cannot be God. And the first number one reason is that God cannot be.
Before we go there, a Muslim, he is telling us about salvation, when his Quran say clearly that every Muslim will go to hell. This is a promise in the Quran. You can go to chapter 19, verse number 71. And this is, by the way, the official government website of Jordan. Government website, not my website. Say clearly, read with me please. There is not one of you that shall come into it, or come to it, which means the hell, that is, but shall enter hell. It's a must. So how you talk to others about salvation when you accept a religion promising you that every Muslim he will be about a barbecue in the hell? Every Muslim, it's a must. I don't want your salvation. You go there and enjoy your barbecue. Now if we go back, we will see the following. He will give us the first reason why Jesus, he cannot be God. Let us hear.
Born. God did not come into existence. He's always existed.
Okay, I missed something in here. Jesus, you know, he cannot be God because he was born.
The descending order. Top 10 reasons, working our way to the number one most important reason. The first reason beginning that Jesus cannot be God. And the reason why we're going over this topic is because it's an issue of salvation.
We told you
we want everyone to be saved.
Yeah, you have no salvation, and we showed everyone that's every Muslim is going to go to hell guaranteed. What is next?
This issue is a very important issue for Christians, Muslims, Jews, why Jesus cannot be God. And the first number one reason is that God cannot be born. God did not come into existence. He's always existed. He did not come into existence from non-existence. He was not born. He was not created. He has always been before there was even a thing called time. And as we all know, Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, was born. He was born without a father. Yes, indeed, that was one of his true miracles. But he was indeed born. He was in the womb for 9 months, and he was born. So that, by its very nature, shows that he does not have the same quality and characteristics that God has. God cannot be born. Jesus was born. So those two people.
So God cannot be born. Jesus was born. And in here, I want to remind people, when Muslims say God cannot, they are making decision what God he can be, what God cannot be. If God cannot be born out of something, because what the word born mean? If we take it to a human, the way we are, I am born, it's mean the time I exist. Before that time I was not exist, and this is true. But is that the case for Jesus? And he said something very funny. He said, okay, you know what? It's true that Jesus, he have no father. Well, if I asked you who is the father of Jesus, then what you will say to me? No answer. So how you say to me he was born but he have no father? If it's about making sense and doesn't make sense, this is how dummy the Muslims are. For them it doesn't make sense when they want, it makes sense when they want. Just because it's mentioned in their book that Jesus don't have a father, they accept that. If it is not, they will make fun of us. They will say, you dummy Christians, you believe that Jesus don't have a father? Are you crazy? Just because it's in their Quran, they accept it. So if you are talking about sense about God cannot be born, why? Because he cannot be born, because this is the time he exists. Born, it's about when he exists. This is false. Simply because you are talking about born as every human, and Jesus, he is not like anyone. He is the only one. He is from a woman, which means he have a mother, but he don't have a father. So you cannot compare him with others anyway, because you just accepted something not exist, something no way to be exist except a miracle of God. He is himself a miracle. Jesus himself is a miracle. This is not only a miracle of God, it is, this is Jesus himself is the miracle. He himself is a miracle. Because the way he showed his glory to us, the way he came to us is a miracle. I want to show you something. If we go to chapter 3, verse number 45, we read the following, that the angels, and by the way, this is one of the contradictions of the Quran, because in here it says the angels told Miriam. In different verse it says the angel came to Mary and told her. You see how dummy is the Quran? It's angels or angel, because it doesn't make sense, either one or many. Different story, it is one angel. And here it's many angels. No problem. Let us continue. So Allah, he is telling Mary in here that he sent the angels, and they told her that the Messiah is the word from him. He is a word from Allah, and his name will be the Messiah. And by the way, this is a translation, it says will be. In Arabic it doesn't say will be. Ismuhu al-Masih Isa, which means he was given a name. So the word will be is not exist. And we can show you that in a very easy way. You see how we can expose the Muslim lies? This is again the official government website of Jordan. This is government website, Islamic State. It says in here,